What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness. You have Jay and Kyle.
What up, y'all?
The caveman is back.
Back again.
He's in a fucking angry mood. He does not like taper week.
Taper week sucks. I'm not angry though. I woke up today, so.
I think the problem with taper week, at least for me anyway, is your body's in like a shock.
Yeah.
We just did all this shit, and then all of a sudden you're like, I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, my body feels great, but I'm really irritable because I'm like,
Yes.
I need to go.
Extremely irritable. Extremely irritable. And I've even done a lot of yoga to help counter that, like more than I would normally would, but still it's just being how we are in the gym 5-6 days a week normally, and then all the training we've been doing for Ironman, it's definitely a shock. I have all this time to get stuff done at the house, and I don't want to. I just want to go train.
Well, yeah, because when you think about it, we were getting into the 6 and 7 hour training sessions.
Yeah.
During the week, they were usually closer to 2, but still, you cut 2 hours a day out, 6 days. You cut 12 to 18 hours of your life out, but it'll be worth it when you feel good. That first swim. But so this is gonna be a little special, a little different episode. Kyle and I have actually never really talked about this. We both know we have had issues in the past, so to speak, but we never really dialed into the details of it. But Kyle and I were going to talk about some of our issues, but we want to stress before we get into this.
We're not condoning any of our dumbass choices.
We're not condoning any of this. This is not. I consider myself very lucky to be on the other side of this.
This is not a how-to.
Yes,
This is a
so
don't do.
this is more if you're in a dark spot.
Get your ass out of it.
There is a spot on the other side of it. So I guess I'll start and we'll kind of jump in. We'll kind of play it like this. So mine started in 1997. I don't know when yours did. I got in a real bad car accident. April of 1997. I was 15 years old. A drunk driver ran the red light at Wood and State Street, hit another car, spiraled up, and landed. Essentially, if I'm in my passenger seat, landed where the microphone is, and then drove off. And naturally, you brace and you do that big. And you don't think about it at the time. They're like, "You want to get an ambulance?" And I'm like, "Fuck no, I don't want to get an ambulance. I just want to I'm just happy to be alive."
Right.
And then I woke up the next day and couldn't fucking move. And back then in '97, they didn't know about what they do now, and they didn't give a shit. They just prescribed you fucking pain pills. So I had basically a standing prescription for Vicodin, Soma, and Valium for anxiety anytime I wanted it. They didn't check how often I was taking the shit. They just gave me a fucking prescription.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal then.
Yeah.
Late 90s, not at all. That's when it all started. The whole pain pill epidemic. Yep.
Yeah, and it's... I basically had a license to be high 24/7.
But you don't even realize it.
No, I realize it now.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought I was perfectly fucking normal. I'm like, oh, it's just for
taking
pain.
the meds
Yeah,
that
it's
you were
just...
prescribed, and nothing's wrong with it at all. You don't see the aftermath and the spiral that you're going into. Everything that's happening. You don't see all that until it's too late.
My problem was when they give you such a open-ended pain pill prescription, you sit there and you're like, I've been in pain literally still to this day. My neck hurts 24/7. I'm 37 now, so it's been 22 fucking years that I've been in pain. So it's just, I got nervous twitches. I'm always super fidgety. But what happened is when I went to college, I had to cycle off of them during the season for swimming. So I would, obviously not fail a drug test.
Right.
But I got so used to it that I was borderline. I shouldn't say borderline. I was a fucking alcoholic and a fucking stoner.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
weed and
but
alcohol.
then at that point in time, it's just You're just partying like everybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
But and it is like that for a lot of people. But so people like us that are very, I don't use the term addictive personality. I use more routine lifestyle because I
Yeah.
think addictive personality is a straight cop out.
Yeah.
But people that are very routine and whatnot, we get into that habit and don't realize we're forming a habit.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
other people, they can, go out and fucking get blackout drunk on the weekend and be fine for 6 months, not touch nothing. Like,
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, you definitely get into that routine. And then I think when I realized I had issues was about the time Debbie told me she was pregnant. So 2009 to 2010, I just realized how fucking, I was traveling with a coworker and he's like, dude, you don't eat like a man. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I
eating
don't
like
eat
a bird, aren't you?
He's like, I never see you eat. And he goes, and when you do eat, it's not enough to fuel a human being. And back then I'm talking, this is 2009, 2010 time frame, and I was 150 pounds.
Yep. Because you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
Ruin that butt.
Yeah,
That
you're
go back
just
home.
fucked up. So that's probably the first time I subconsciously realized, or someone told me, and I kind of started paying attention. I'm like, man, you really don't eat. The dude's right.
You don't I
eat.
didn't realize it till probably 3 years ago. And like I went from eating like a fucking bird.
Yeah.
Family, friends, everyone said it. I get people throwing out that comment out there, eat something, like in big crowds and shit, just being snooty and snobby.
Yeah.
But they weren't wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
now I can eat.
Shit, now if I
Probably
don't.
be on a fucking food eating competition.
Yeah.
In all reality.
Now it's like I love food to death, but really it was for me the defining moment, and I don't know that I've ever actually said this out loud, but so we go back to the delivery room. It's March 1st, 2010. We go back to the delivery room. They got Debbie strapped to the thing. We're doing a C-section. And it's supposed to be the happiest day of your life, right? You're about to have your first child. It's a boy. I want to play catch with him and all that other shit. And they hand him to me, and Debbie had to go to post-surgery, so most of the first stuff was done with me. And they hand him to me, and my body was so weak and fucked up. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I was just sitting there looking at him like,
You weren't even thinking about
I
that.
don't want to be
Right.
holding this, like, and I'm looking, and it's hard to picture, but imagine you're just looking out amongst the glass, and all of your closest friends and family are there, and all they want to do is be in your shoes, holding your brand new baby, and all I wanted to do was be somewhere else.
Yep, you weren't even enjoying the moment.
And that moment, I didn't necessarily change right then, but that moment was really the, dude, you're
Uh-huh.
fucked up
Yep.
kind of moment.
It takes
Like,
that kind of moment too.
like, holy
That's
fuck.
That's the real turning point, is when you hit that moment. And it's not like it don't happen very many times. Like
No, well, yeah.
You might get a chance or two, but when you get that one, if you don't turn it around 9 times out of 10, if you don't turn it around, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it. You're gonna be the next obituary in the paper.
Yeah, and I think while I didn't change it right then, that was the moment that changed the mindset. It took me a lot longer to change the
Yeah,
physical,
yeah, definitely.
but the mindset that day was, dude, we're fucking figuring this shit out. I spent another year in the medical system, trying other routes and still taking pills, but that was the genesis of my change. Because at that point it was like, dude, like you said, I'm going to get to a point where I was never necessarily abusive, but there were times I took 3 Vicodin at a time because I'm like, I didn't take any today, so I can take 3 before I go to bed, 3 Soma before I go to bed, and a couple Valium. Not realizing what I know now, which is you basically just took a super high fucking dose right before you go to bed.
Yeah, which
And
is
I'm
not
lucky.
good.
I'm lucky I fucking woke up a couple of those days versus spreading it out. But it does. It gets to a point where you're just nothing. You don't feel anything. You're just walking through the clouds. And it's so weird to say that now because I'm such a different person. But back then, it would literally be like Debbie would talk to me, and I wouldn't remember fuck all of what we were talking.
Oh,
She's like,
nice.
"You were just there," and I'm like, "I don't think you realize how high I am every time you talk to me."
I was just talking to my aunt a couple weeks ago. It was actually a Tuesday at volleyball, and I showed up a little early to help out with some stuff. And we were sitting there talking. She was like, just talking about all kinds of shit. Her brother OD'd and passed from drugs and whatnot. And she's like, I'll be honest with you, Bub. She goes, I didn't know if you were gonna do it. She's like, I didn't know when we were gonna get that call about you. She's like, you just turned it around so much, and you know.
Before we get too far into the turnaround, why don't we go back to where did it start for you? Did you have an incident that spurred it? I remember April. It was around April 20th. I don't know if it was actually the 20th, but I remember like it was on the way to after prom, 1997. I remember that day. Like it was fucking yesterday.
I remember the first time I ever used painkillers. I had despised and hated everybody that did it. I was one of the last people in my whole group. You know, it was just a party drug. And like you said, you know, I drank and smoked and whatnot. But my mother had passed prior, and not that condones anything.
Yeah.
I was just I was headed into a dark spot. And
what time frame are we talking?
This would have been my senior year in high school, so 08.
God damn, I'm old.
Yeah.
So 2008.
Yeah. And I was like a goody two shoes. I was, believe it or not, Caveman Kyle was like a 4.0 student in high school.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me at all, actually.
But, yeah, we were just partying. I threw fucking...
Goody two-shoes Kyle that's got the race guide and everything printed out right there was a 4.0 student.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I threw mad parties in high school. Anyone who went to school with me know this. And a buddy offered it up, and I was like, fuck it, yeah, whatever. Not thinking, you know.
Was it Vicodin? Was it codeine?
Percocet.
Percocet?
Yeah, I think oxycodone or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all started there, and I mean, it's not like I was the next day like fucking jonesing for it. No, it's just a slow process that happens.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, you're fucking jonesing, you're lying to your parents. You know, and parents, anyone who's a parent knows damn well when you're fucking lying to them. So you're better off just not lying to your parents.
Yeah.
You know?
Or your, in my case, my significant other.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Your loved ones in general. I mean,
yeah.
That's one thing too. So I don't forget, I'd like to thank my family and my friends, Nick Garza, my dad, you know, siblings, my brother, my sisters, all for never giving up on me, because that kept me from going to the very, very dark side. But I mean, I was there. I was fucking homeless, like a straight up junkie, a piece of shit. Like, that's what all this is about, is that you can go from being a piece of shit. And I mean, I haven't finished the Ironman yet, whatnot, and we're only doing a 70.3 for now. But there's life to live. I mean, I got 2 children out there that fucking, you got 2 children too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more to life than just what you think. You know, like, it's just, every day you wake up, it's a godsend. I mean, it's something to be grateful for. Yeah, I came in here pissy ass mood today, but I'm still fucking breathing.
Yeah.
I still get to go to bed tonight, so.
I think that's the thing that people don't realize is it really, you don't even think you're doing anything wrong.
No, like I said, I despise so many people. It almost blew my mind that my buddy even asked me this, because, to be honest with you, that's what my mother fucking OD'd from painkillers, and I despise her for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
have you ever heard that NF song, Why Did You Leave Me?
Probably, I'd imagine you probably played it here.
I don't know if I have it here, dude. It's one of those songs, like when I hear it, I'll get choked up and have to
I've checked
change
it out, but like.
But it's about his mom ODing,
yeah.
and it's like he's so mad, but he's so sad at the same time.
Exactly
like
that. And it took me so many years, even after I got clean and whatnot. It still took me a few years to come to means with what all happened and forgive my mother and just be happy with life and myself, because you can walk around pissed off all the time about everything, or you can figure out a way to cope and deal with it. And I mean, I tried. I thought doing all the drugs,
mm-hmm.
that was me coping. That wasn't me coping. That was me putting a Band-Aid on an open wound.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't. It was just prolonging.
I was trying to put a Band-Aid on a fucking. cutting your damn arm off.
Yeah, like
It's like
it's the same thing. I mean,
it just makes you go numb. You
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like if
exactly.
you've never been high on painkillers or just like it's not like a weed high. It's just you feel numb.
yep.
You just
Everything's gone. You don't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah,
except for getting once you hit that point.
I flunked out of college.
Yeah, same. I
And
mean,
it was like,
and
and my teacher would call and be like, "Where are you at?" And I'm like, "I don't even have a fucking excuse."
exactly. There's so many people that like I went to school with.
Because you don't want to say, "I got super fucked up," or "I had I had 3 Vicodin and I don't give a fuck." You
No.
were just like, "I don't even have an excuse."
No, and you give that. That's how many fucks you give. You don't really care.
Yeah.
And like with that being said, I'm getting way off topic. But with that being said, a lot of people wonder why I'm so wild and crazy and just really don't give a fuck what people think. And this right here is exactly why. Because I truly believe I will never be as shitty of a person and as I'll never see myself as bad as what I've seen myself in the past. Like I don't think I'll ever be that low and that.
There are days you literally looked in the mirror and you hated yourself.
Bro, there's even pictures still on Facebook that like friends that met me in the recently, or like when I first moved to Fremont was starting to get my shit together. They're like, dude, have you looked at pictures of yourself recently? And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? Other people, they're like, you just changed so much. It's so awesome. Like I was debating doing this podcast, and Garza he was like, dude,
we talked. I mean, for reference to everybody that's listening to this is episode 18.
Yeah.
We talked about it after the first fucking episode. We've been literally talking about this for fucking 4 months.
This has been very debatable, and because I don't want to condone anything, and not even how I did it, and I don't want this to be about me. I simply want, if I can change that one person's life, the 99 that look at me and judge me, I don't give a fuck. Because if I can change that one person's life to where they turn it around, it's all worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
or better yet, the person that gets offered it and says "fuck."
Yeah, it's stopping it altogether.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Because that would be my message to them is I wish the first time they gave me a prescription. And I know me and you had a text when you got your wisdom teeth pulled.
Yeah.
They gave you the pain pillar and you
Dude,
ripped up the fucking thing and sent me a video of you ripping
that
up
was the second time. It just in the last 12 months, that was the second prescription that I've been prescribed that had been ripped up and thrown in the trash. Because the first one was when I had my surgery.
It's mind-boggling to me though. Like I will literally describe my drug history to the doctors.
Yeah, and
they'll still fucking write your prescription. And you're like,
that's what they did at the surgery.
I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, well, it's just one. I'm like, but my fucking history is not just one.
At the dentist,
it's opening the gateway back to.
At the dentist,
no
they
man's
looked at me
land.
like I was fucking nuts. Because I walked up to the counter to leave. First of all, I didn't get put under and had all 4 pulled. And then I told them I don't want this. And they looked at me and they go, and they're like, you're talking, you know how you can barely talk. And you, I'm like,
Yeah.
They're like, what, Kyle? I'm like, take it. Just take the fucking shit. I don't want it. Like, not that I was concerned about, me taking it or nothing. It's just, that's to the point I am now. A lot of people, like, you said, your dates. Probably 90% of people, and this was something that I brought up to my aunt too, probably 90% of people that quit and get clean, they know that fucking date. But when I did it, I told myself, this is it. I'm not looking back. I didn't care about what fucking date it was. I wasn't keeping account on how many days or months or years I've been clean and sober. Because it ain't never gonna fucking change. It's just happening now. It should have never started. That's how I look at it.
I think I do know the accident date. The only reason I know my clean date is fucking Facebook memories.
Right, exactly.
I mean, if you think about it, most of the time now it'll pop up on like January fucking 8th because I forgot to mention it, and it'll be like, oh fuck, I forgot. This is 8 years clean for me this year. No, I'm sorry, 7 years clean. But it's just because of Facebook memories now.
Right.
I wouldn't have remembered that.
I can remember roughly the time of when I completely washed my hands of everything. Marijuana, not alcohol, I still have drinks here and there, but marijuana, painkillers, fucking the devil, Suboxone, because that's a whole nother story. Because I wanted to get clean. Like, I wanted to get off the painkillers, and I knew in my head I did. And I had a friend reach out, Nick, took me in, his family took me in and got me clean and whatnot. And fucking, I ended up relapsing. And then I went and talked to the doctor because I truly wanted it.
See, I never knew you and Nick. Like, I knew you and Nick were close growing up.
Yeah, we're like brothers.
Yeah.
Like, die for each other type of shit.
But I knew you guys because I knew you were in his wedding, and I knew he obviously knew you when he started at the gym and whatnot. But he never explained how he knew you.
Yeah, we've known each other since first grade.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we fought like I think in first grade because he brought his dog up to the fucking playground at school and I stepped on him when we were playing catch. Totally didn't mean to, but yeah.
I mean,
Ever
I'd
since
whoop
they
your
were
ass
best
for stepping
friends.
my dog.
Like yeah, his parents, man, they lived over in Green Springs. They took me in. Like that's how much like people truly loved me and I was just pissing my life away. It was so shitty. But I mean, now that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. It's turn shit around, make it all worth it, make their time and energy spent worth it.
Yeah, I think there's two stories I'm gonna tell that make you realize how you're not as clever as you think you are, right? Like I thought I was a ninja with hiding shit from everybody.
You always do.
So I was in Sacramento, California. I was on site with a coworker of mine that told me I ate like a child, and we were doing some work, and
you get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Where you think.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. Like we were working, and we were working on some batteries, and we were drilling off some stuff and whatnot. Well, my shit was locked in the car. I didn't want to tell him, hey, I need to go take a fucking pill. So I powered through, and it had been like 6 hours since my last Vicodin, Soma, whatever the fuck I was taking at the time. And I started getting like, I was gonna fucking puke.
Yep.
And then,
Nauseous.
and then the headache.
Yep.
So I ended up having to ask him for the fucking car keys. Mind you, it's fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're at an end user's facility, and he gives me the car keys. I'm like, dude, I don't feel good. Come. I go out, start the car, turn the air conditioner on as low as it can, took a Vicodin and a Soma, passed the fuck out. He thought I was dead. We're driving back towards wherever we were going next, and he goes, literally, I'm fucking yanking on you, and you're not responding at all. And he goes, then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, I'm fucking hungry. And he goes, he gave me a pretty good tongue lashing, and that's when I told him, he just thought I was just using. He didn't realize I had like a legit neck condition. But either way, it doesn't make a fucking excuse.
No,
I was on the clock
Yeah.
for work, and I was not in a functioning state.
Right, exactly.
So that was one. The second one's when I fucking realized I needed to make a change. And it's like any good story, Monday I'll make the change, right? So
Yeah.
So it was December 30th,
Just
2000.
one more time to party. One more.
Yeah, it was December 30th, 2011. So my daughter was 5 months old. My son was a little over a year and a half old. And I had just got done with 8 surgical injections in my neck. I was still having major pain, still taking pills all the time. They asked me for an MRI to diagnose it further, see if I needed some kind of neck fusion or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I don't do fucking closed spaces very good at all. They're like, don't worry, we'll drug you up. You'll be able to get in, no big deal. So I show up to Bellevue Hospital. My dad takes me. On the way there, I took 2 Valium, 2 Vicodin, and whatever else they gave me. It was 2, I want to say Soma or Muscle Relaxer, Flexerol, whatever it was. I get there. They put me in the machine. They immediately have to take me out because I'm fucking freaking out. And she's like, you're gonna have to figure this out, or we're not gonna be able to do the MRI. I'm like, well, just give me more fucking drugs. Like, he said he was gonna knock me out. And the lady looked at me almost with, I wouldn't even say disdain. It was the amount of concern in her eyes was,
Because she had already given you.
I gave you so much, a horse should be knocked
Yeah.
out right now.
Yeah.
And your 150-pound ass is looking at me like nothing happened.
Something wrong.
And long story short, we cut the MRI. We didn't end up doing it. Didn't really say shit the whole ride home. Get home, had some buddies in town for the New Year's, got drunk as fuck on the 30th, got drunk as fuck on the 31st, woke up on the 1st, threw all my shit away. I said, I need to be the parent. And I need to actually be this person for my children, my wife, and whatever. And I was scheduled to go to Dallas that first week for work. And let me tell you, when you just dump your shit and decide cold turkey, I'm gonna fucking do this, and then
you're like, son of a bitch, did I really just do that?
And then you fly into a foreign area, and it's just you in a hotel room and work, and you're having violent withdrawals.
Terrible.
It's one of the worst experience. That week was probably the worst, but it's probably best that I was gone, because I would have hated to have my kids or even Debbie see me like that.
Yeah, because you'd lash out on them.
Well, you would just be fine 1 minute, and then you're throwing up, and you're fucking miserable.
Fucking pure misery. If you could take video of you doing it without flipping out on the fucking person taking the video, and show it to anybody that's even debating on partying with drugs without knowing what the fuck's about to happen, you would never do it. You never even think twice.
Yeah. So I think we have unique perspectives, because you read about all these fucking drug-related deaths and things in Fremont or throughout the world.
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh, it's just a junkie," and I'm sitting here going, "That was almost fucking me."
Yeah,
that was almost you. And
and
if you look at us now, it's like I was talking to Courtney at one point, and she's like, "You would have never known that both you and Kyle, like, you two are fucking psycho, like, motivated."
Yeah.
She's like, "You would have never known, but I mean, if you knew me pre-2012, I was the laziest."
I don't think a lot of people understand how, I guess we sort of get that motivation from our dark spots. I don't know if I would say it like that. But
it's not motivation from the dark spot. It's like David Goggins said, our mind is so callous because we were so fucking. We know what rock bottom looks like.
Exactly, and like, what is our limit? What is not possible? It all seems possible, because I didn't think I'd ever fucking made it through that shit.
No, I mean,
the pills and whatnot. I got clean from that, staying with guards at Cold Turkey. Went to the Y here in Fremont with them, ripped out and shit. Was doing great. Fucked up, relapse. Then when I decided myself to get clean, I went to the doctor, told the doctor over there in Bellevue. He wasn't even my doctor. Told him, I was like, "Hey dude, like, I'm fucking young, I'm addicted to painkillers, I'm gonna die if you don't like help me out."
Yeah.
And he put me on that Suboxone program, which is absolutely terrible. Nobody should ever do. Worst thing in the world. If you want to get clean from painkillers, do it the fucking tough way and just tough it out. Don't be a bitch, because that shit is way worse.
Well, I think that's where maybe I had the advantage over you, in that I got them through a doctor. I never knew how to get them, outsource them. So when I threw all my shit away and I ripped up all my prescriptions, the only way I was getting it again. I didn't party with anybody. So
it was, you had no other choice.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I was drinking and doing other shit.
I was so bad. I had to surround myself with. That was my people. People that fucking did drugs with me, and my aha moment was on the Suboxone and everything, because the doctor prescribed me.
And when was this? The Suboxone? 3 years ago, you said?
No, Suboxone. I think it would have been. I don't know. It would have been like 6 years ago. I think I was like 23 when I finally dropped the painkillers, and when I got on Suboxone,
So it ended up. Our stories are actually about to intertwine. I was 2012. You're about 2013, so we were not that far off.
It jumped from. I went from the painkillers to being monitored on the Suboxone, which I was doing great by the doctor's means. I wasn't even taking what I was supposed to. I was taking less, but I wouldn't quit fucking smoking weed. So the doctor cut me off, and I was probably, it had been almost 4 years now, so this would have been 2015, I think, because I was in Suboxone for like a year and a half, 2 years. It's 2015, I think it was like Memorial Day, getting ready, or before Memorial Weekend, whatnot. Whole family's going out on the campground, parents, both my sisters, both their boyfriends, all the kids, and they were a whole big group of people. And I thought that I had it all under control. I was doing fine. I was cut off from the Suboxone, but I was still able to get it if I needed it. And I was taking minuscule amounts. So I'm looking for something before I go, and I couldn't get it. And at that point in time, I felt like a complete junkie. Like people say a junkie, I felt that was my. You don't have anything together here. You just replaced one thing with the next. And that is the exact truth of what I did. And long story short, I ended up finding something. Got down to the campground. I was having so much fun enjoying my family and friends. I didn't even fucking remember to take it. Like I think it was their second day or third day down there. I pulled my dad aside and I was like, "Hey, listen to this." He's like, and he's, you know how dads are, parents are. They're like, we know, we can see you have an issue. And he's like, "So what are you gonna do?" I was like, "Oh, I don't want this shit." He's like, "I either give it away, throw it away, whatever. I don't need it." And that was that. That was when I was done. I never fucking looked back. And I thank the Lord. You don't gotta believe in God, but believe in something, because I should have died multiple times.
I don't know that it's. I mean, there's times I shouldn't have been operating a motor vehicle. I shouldn't have been doing a lot of fucking shit. But
I was a forklift driver.
Yeah, that's probably not the greatest thing in the world to be doing either. But I think the most powerful message from both of us is, once you realize the support you have, like for me it was,
you're not just doing it for yourself.
Yeah, it was the kids.
So much more. Like my dad pulled his keys to this house, and he's let me use his truck if I ever needed it. No, he took that, pulled everything. I still didn't get it until I felt like a complete piece of shit junkie. That's when it all clicked for me, and I was like, either turn it around or fucking.
When your eyes no longer want to meet themselves in the
mirror. Yeah,
when you're trying to fucking brush your teeth looking at the ground.
When you get sick looking at yourself, it's when shit changes. But you can avoid that all by just not fucking going.
Yeah, don't take it. But to flip this positive, for me, you talked about us being routine people. I just said fuck it. The only thing I ever knew before this was sports and exercise. So I'm like, I'm gonna find a way on my own to do this. And I think that's, I mean, obviously I'm gonna sound a little cocky here. That's why I think I'm a good trainer. Is I've done so many fucking exercise programs because it was the only way to keep my mind occupied.
Right.
That first 6 months when you're in hell was yoga, P90X, this, that. You find out what works and what's bullshit real quick. And then you learn, hey, I can implement this, I can implement that. And that's when I realized, when I went to school before I flunked out, I was studying sports management, kinesiology, and like I literally was obsessed with human movement and running a facility. And now here we are, fucking 2019, and ended up 2013 is when I actually got my first certification. I just went back to what I knew, and then it became, now when people come to me with stories, they'll be like, you would not believe the obstacles I have in my life, and I'm like, try me.
Yeah, pretty much.
And people will go, really? Like you've had all that? And I've had a lot of people tell me I should share this more. I don't do a good job of promoting how fucked up I was, and how much, how I kind of came out on the other side. But I just don't like to, like we started this podcast, I don't want anyone to think I condone that shit.
No, exactly. And we don't want to condone it. And we don't, neither of us want that woe is me shit, because I don't fucking need that. I don't need anyone's pity.
But at the same time, I think both of us would say, that doesn't mean we're going to judge you if you come to, like,
no,
if you're going to come to me with help and say, hey, I heard your podcast and I have similar issues, we're going to fucking help.
That's
100%.
That's a big reason why we're here, to let people know that, hey, we've gone through this shit. It's possible. And you said you went through it with working out and training on Well, before I came here, I did zero working out. I maybe been in a gym a half dozen times my entire life before I ever came here. I do remember that date, November 11th, 2017. But
I do remember that too, because you told me you wanted a personal trainer, you wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, because I was timid. But then I got in here, and some people may have judged a little bit, or it could have just been my twisted mind thinking so. But either way, it worked out great because I took that whole mentality of people judging me and thinking that people were judging me and used it as fuel to show that, like, all right, judge me now, watch me here in a couple, you know, here in the future. You know, it takes time and a lot of fucking work. It just don't happen. It just don't happen. But you can really turn some heads if you put in hard work and time. Like, I remember first I come in here and, you know, everybody was very welcoming and whatnot. But after a few months, people start coming up to you, hey, you want to do this ad? Hey, you want to do this extra? It's like people are like, all right, this motherfucker's got something here. Like, he's going to push me a little bit. I don't know what it is yet. I ain't quite figured it out. But, so, I mean.
Well, it's pretty clear early on that you had something mentally that you could go to a next level.
I just.
And I think it's weird to say it, but when you went through some shit like we did,
everything else
seems easy.
Yeah,
you know, it's like,
so much easier.
it's like I can handle this pain for a little bit longer.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna lift more weight or shit like that, but when it comes to just managing pain,
enduring,
I'm like, fucking I can manage pain all day.
The first fucking open workout we did, that 18-1, was just a 20 minutes of pure hell.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even hard movements. What was it? Rowing,
toe to bar, and dumbbell hang clean
yeah,
and jerk.
no they weren't really hard movements. It was just hold on for 20 minutes and fucking do the best you can. Those are my kind of workouts. Just grind it out. Like, just hold on. Whether it's 2 fingers or 2 hands, fucking hold on.
And I mean, ultimately, that's what Ironman's going to come down to.
Yep. That run. It's probably on tape somewhere, but I thought 13.1. You do that in my sleep.
Did you listen to last week's podcast? I know you weren't here.
I listened to parts of it, and then my radio in the van started messing up, so I tuned it off. But
I opened the podcast criticizing myself because I said the same thing. I was like,
yes.
a 3-hour 13.1 fucking cake. I can crawl it. Yeah. No, it's a little harder than crawling that shit. But I think that's what's you know what's crazy is you listen to all these books. You listen to Rich Roll's book or read it, and I've done both. Like there's something about endurance athletes. You listen to Goggins or read his book. All of these endurance athletes are just fucked up.
Yeah, they have warped minds.
Yeah.
They have very calloused minds.
So it's like
people look at us like we're fucked up because not anybody has that callous of a mind to where everything else is minuscule. Like,
yeah, and it's like
we're all human. We all get upset over certain little things and this and that. But for the most part, it's all just little shit in life. Like,
it's almost like you get this sick, twisted enjoyment out of being in pain.
Yeah.
It's like I looked at Lex at one point during the run last week, and I just said, is it weird that I love the fact that we're sweating our ass off and it's gonna be really fucking hard, and I'm gonna be tested on whether or not I will quit, and I get some sick fucking enjoyment out of that. And she's just like, yeah, that's definitely fucked up.
Just earlier, man, before Robin left, when I came in, I was talking to Robin about it, and she goes, what's the weather look like? She goes, it's probably gonna be hot, huh? I go, I hope it's so fucking hot. I go, I hope it's like hell hot.
Yeah.
She goes, looked at me weird. It's like, what? And I'm like, I can handle it. I was like, I don't know if everybody else can. I was like, but I can handle it, and I'm pretty sure everybody I've been training with can handle it because we've all been training in this fucking heat. Like, either I want it to seriously be either miserably hot or shipwrecking fucking thunderstorm shit. Because I want to do it in the most grueling, fucking terrible shit. So I can walk away and be like, I did it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a fucking, a sunny day in the parade. That's not what it is. This ain't fucking Lucky Charm rainbow type shit.
I just don't want my bike to malfunction. Everything else I want to be is.
Oh, I've already
Possible.
thought about it. If it rains, I'm gonna end up wrecking my bike. Probably. I mean, it's like a 50-50 chance.
You're probably going to, even if it doesn't rain.
As soon as I hit the first corner.
Yeah. No, it's
But it's a 100% chance I'm gonna get my fucking ass up. So.
Yeah, it's just one of those, like, I remember week 1, day 1. The program I was on was by a former pro wrestler. It's called DDP Yoga. He's rebranded a bunch of times. That's what it's called now. It might be called DDPY or something like that. But the test called for max set of push-ups. And I literally, I'm like, you know, in my mind, I'm fucking 18, real fit swimmer. They used to do hundreds of push-ups and never fucking get tired. Well, this decrepit ass fucking pain pill detoxing body gets up and I'm holding a plank and I'm like, my arms are shaking from holding the fucking plank.
Yep.
And I go down and I'm like,
Fuck, I gotta get back.
I'm literally pushing with every ounce of strength that is in my body and I'm not moving. And I don't know that I cried, but I remember hitting the ground and I remember just being so just
Devastated,
down. Just
yeah.
like, it wasn't even, I felt like I was fucking nothing. I felt like just outside of having kids and a wife, I don't know that I had anything in my life that I was like, fuck, you need to do this for him. So it became a fucking nightly ritual for me. And it was like,
Challenging
I'm
yourself,
paying this
yeah.
fucking piper here, and then I got to 1, and then I got to fucking 10, and now I can routinely bust out sets of 50 push-ups.
Right.
But then I graduated to the next thing, which was a 20-minute yoga DVD that had calisthenics in it. 10 minutes into the workout, I didn't even quit. I fell over and couldn't get back up. And I'm just, it's the same, but it's just, I wish I could describe to people what goes on in your brain, because you literally are laying there and you're so defeated, but you're so fucking defiant in
Yes.
your belief that you're defeated. You're like, I'm gonna fuck this bitch up tomorrow. Tomorrow, this workout is gonna be my bitch.
Yep.
And I truly feel like I've attacked since 2012, I've attacked every workout program I've ever done with that
You
mentality.
develop that no quit. You're not gonna surrender. It's like there's been multiple dozens probably training sessions. Even just yesterday, I did a short ride into a really short run, and I forgot to fucking hydrate the day before because I was supposed to do it that day, the day prior, and I slacked off and didn't get it done. But I didn't get it done on Sunday, and I did not hydrate proper, and I did not stretch. And it was good that I realized that, because that will not happen come race day. But I was 5 miles into this bike and was absolutely miserable. Like, legs were just straight. Like, they were not feeling good at all.
Mhm.
They were tight, and I was not hydrated. It was miserable. It's like a lot of training sessions that we've gone through where we've done things wrong, but those are all learning experiences. So
Yeah, I think it's just, how much you're able to withstand.
yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't want this to sound like there's nothing that'll make us quit, but
No, there's definitely breaking
But
points.
here's how I look at it is, I'm able to keep moving while I'm quitting in my head. In my head, I've quit.
It goes back to
Yeah.
that
I
one.
know.
What
Plus
John-
one.
Yeah. Plus
it's always one more
John.
step, one
Yeah.
more day, one more whatever. But that's really where it goes to, is you quit and you bitch and you whine and you moan. But
And
then
the big thing to me is, and I know it's you too, is that thinking about quitting. Then you have that moment where you think about quitting, and then you think about how you're gonna feel if you actually do quit.
Mhm.
How disappointed and fucking pissed off you're gonna be with yourself.
See, I never even get to that point.
Oh no.
I fantasize about quitting, and my mind, like, subconsciously just goes, shut the fuck up, dude. You're just gonna keep moving. So I don't know why you're even whining about this shit. But it's like, and then it's like literally like angel and devil on my shoulders, and I literally have a whole conversation, and I'll start laughing because it's like
I'm just there listening to these two fucking people when it's really my own thoughts. Like
Right.
I'm not just there. This motherfucker's like, you need to quit, you pussy. You're gonna get heat poisoning. This one's like,
The AC's
yeah,
on at home.
yeah, bitch, quit. Go ahead. Be a quitter the rest of your life. And then I'm in the middle going, you fuckers know I ain't gonna quit.
And see, sometimes we're dangerous to ourselves for that reason. Fucking fly. I literally just killed a fucking fly.
Murderer.
But like sometimes we are dangerous to ourselves because we set out with a plan, and I'm very big on not breaking the plan. But
I would agree
sometimes
with
the plan needs to be altered.
There are
But
times that
I don't like to do it.
I will tell you, Debbie is probably my my compass on that now.
Yeah, 'cause
If
she
I
pays
walk in, and
attention when
she
you fucking break the
she knows what I am, and she knows there's a difference between quitting and being intelligent.
Yes, and stopping.
There are a couple times where she's been like, "Look, babe, ain't no," and she knows how to talk to me too. Ain't no doubt you can do that next 3 miles. But what about your training session tomorrow? And I'll be like, but you're right. I probably will skip tomorrow if I finish this shit. And fucking 46-mile bike into a 8-mile run is still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
You know. So I'll be like, okay, you're right on this one. I might still bitch and moan and complain, but usually if Debbie stands up and says, look, that I usually defer to her. I'm now, don't get me wrong. In me telling this story, it's a casual conversation.
Right.
In our household, it's a fucking war. But if she feels strong enough to actually stand up to me, knowing how much I'm going to argue with her, I will usually defer to her. Because she'll always throw in my face, is it fucking July 28th? Which she and I both knows that means, is it Iron Man? Because if
Right.
it's not, shut the fuck up.
Right.
And I'll be like, okay, you're right. And I think it's important for people like us to have someone like that. So people will give me shit. I know me and Carrie have had even arguments on this podcast. My job for some of you guys is to be that person.
Right.
And it's not me being an asshole.
Me and Carrie can both be
Yeah,
very
it's
dangerous
not
to ourselves.
it's not me thinking I'm smarter than you. It's me being.
And you do piss us off
oh fuck yeah! Sometimes I do it on purpose. But in reality, it's me just trying to be your compass to
Yeah.
say, hey, I know.
You're looking out for us.
I believe I told you at one point I knew you were too stupid to quit anything. The only way you would fail this is if you got time capped on something. But I was also very concerned with your training and how much, if you got off of your consistency,
Right.
that could be dangerous because you take a week off and try and jump right back into this training. It can be a shock to your
Yeah.
body. I mean,
Definitely.
one of the issues with tapering is our body is so used to doing that much work that when we're not, you almost subconsciously tell yourself you feel like shit.
Yeah.
When in reality, you feel fucking great. You just don't want to admit how great you feel.
I literally wore my flip flops down to the gym today so I wouldn't fucking like fuck around, try to jump on the rig,
Yep.
jump up on the rings and fuck my shoulder up, something stupid.
Yeah,
and I
some-
still got on the bike. But
Yeah,
I
but
just-
it's
I'm
not as bad.
very
You
good
did
at
two 30-second intervals. I think
Yeah.
you did all right.
But
But yeah, I mean, that's my job as a coach, or Debbie's job with me, is just being that compass that says, hey, think about this, you idiot. You are almost insanely able to cope with pain. Like, just, you have a next level.
we embraced it. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the guy? Embrace the suck or what?
Yeah, it's like push into the pain.
Yeah, fucking. I've been out there on the rides where, and I know you have too because we've talked about it. Fucking, it's hot as fuck, but yet still windy. Fucking wind just beating you in the face so bad that you're gonna fall off your bike. And I've been out there, I'm sure you have too, with just fucking cheesing, smiling. Like, come on, let's go. Come, that's all you got. Like,
Yeah, it's like.
really?
Well, you were standing right next to me, thinking I was a damn psycho. The
Oh,
day-
when we were
when we
running?
ran
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
Joe
we were running right next
after
to each
Joe
other.
P's death and the wind's in our face, and I started screaming, "Is that all you got, motherfucker?" Laughing hysterically, and you just looked at me, and you were probably the only one in this world that got it.
Yeah.
Like, you just looked at me like, "Fuck yeah," and like. I think Lex and John catch up to us and like, "For one of you screaming," and I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, I felt the need to get some shit off my chest at that
Yeah.
moment.
And literally, I don't know if there could have been a stronger wind without us falling over. That's how strong that fucking wind was. Like,
Yeah.
literally, we're running. We're both at 45-degree angles, sprinting as hard as we can. If we were fucking sprinting a mile at this pace, we'd probably be running like a 5-minute mile. That's how hard we were working.
Yeah.
And we're literally
Barely
going
moving.
nowhere.
We were
Like,
barely
we're,
moving.
We're like a fucking one of them little caterpillar things crossing the road. That's how fast we're going.
I think we ended up running. Wasn't it like a 12:35 mile or something like that? It was super slow.
ridiculously
It was, but those are the moments in training that I look at and I'm like, yep. So it's insane. But to anybody out there listening to this that feels that they're in a dark spot and they're not sure how to get through the other side, it's possible.
There is
I don't care how low you think you are. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. As Kyle shared, find a support group because
Yep.
it's very difficult to do it on your own. I was lucky enough that I had a baby at the time, and just seeing her
And
and
it's
knowing
not
what eventually I would mean to them.
Yeah.
And they're never going to remember any of this shit because they just remember dad of who I am now. And even talking to Debbie now, she's like, honestly, I don't really remember how lazy you were because now it's so hard to imagine because you're just so
drastically.
Yeah, I'm like, you give me 5 extra minutes and I'm like, I got to fill it with this. And
Yeah.
she's like, do you just ever fucking calm
See,
down? And
that's
I'm like,
I get
"No."
yelled at too. I had literally, I sat down on my. I've been in my house for like what 2 or 3 months now.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I sat down on my love seat for I think the first time since I've lived there.
Mm-hmm.
And like was just laying there playing in and Autumn playing on the floor and like bouncing on top of me. Like, and I was just like, holy shit, I can do it. I can sit still.
Mm-hmm.
And like 5 minutes go by and I'm fucking losing my shit.
Mm-hmm.
But second on top of yours, the support group. Support group is all great, but you have to want it. Like you
They
don't.
can't want it for you. You
Yes,
gotta want it.
You know, parents, loved ones, they're always gonna want it for you. But nobody's gonna change you. You have to change yourself. You have to truly want it. They say you have to want that shit as bad as you want to breathe. It's true. You have to want it. Because if you don't fucking want it, there's gonna come a day you're not gonna breathe.
Mhm.
So, like, you truly, it's insanity to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. You
Mhm.
have to change so much. I would say everything, but really, you don't have. It's
You change about 80% of
yes,
your life.
you have to change a large amount, and it's gonna take a lot of learning and a lot of patience and a lot of fucking work, but it can be done. Like
It's
we're
so-
living proof that it
it's-
can be done. It is possible, and like I said,
And we could have easily, mind you, not brought this up on
Yeah,
the podcast
definitely,
and not
definitely.
told. I'm sure there's a lot of members of the gym even that don't know this story
there's
about either of us.
A lot
so-
of people. There's people that like in my everyday life that don't know this shit, but it's. I feel like there's a reason to put this out there. Like I said, there's 2 different stories. You know, I brought all this dumb shit upon myself, but I still live to tell my story. Jay, like most naive people, are prescribed it and don't even realize what's happening.
Mhm.
You know, he's in a car accident, and like most people, accidents happen, get painkillers. You don't even realize what's happened. Me, I was fucking stupid and brought it all upon myself. So
But in saying that, I'm gonna touch on one thing real quick before, and I apologize for interrupting, but I think I told you this the one day. Debbie got prescribed some muscle relaxers or something like. It's probably been a year ago now, 6
yeah,
months
I
ago,
remember you
whatever.
talking about it. That's
And
about a year.
she opened that lid, and it's been 7 fucking
true.
years, and instantly I'm like, I want one. So it's not like it goes away. Like this thought that you just move on and you never think about the shit again. I mean, 99% of my day I don't think about it, but that one little bit, it was like instantly wanting it back.
The one thing that keeps me from ever taking a step back in that direction is knowing how hard it was for me to break it.
Mhm.
Like I was in deep. Like
Mm-hmm.
I did so much shit. I regret so much, but
But you got out the other side.
yep. Yes, I did. Yes,
So I
I did.
think-
And it is possible, and I'm living proof that it is possible. So
And I think that's a great wrap-up point right there. August 17th, Joe Pemberton Fitness, Food, and Fun Festival. Please stop down, check it out. Check out our Facebook page. It has an event in there. There's a link for a GoFundMe if you want to support but aren't able to attend. Joe's just a great guy, gone too soon, and his two daughters still deserve to have that life. Go to college and all those other things
yeah,
that they're just good kids.
Yes,
they
they are
hide how
very
much they're
good
struggling with it. Carrie hides how much she's struggling with it, but they're just, it's an amazing
three.
family that is like, I truly, literally, when we're texting, we will tell each other we love each other and stuff. Like, they are our family,
Yep.
which is amazing. Be sure to check out all the people who have supported us. Again, I'm not able to state enough how much Spoke Life Cycle has helped us through this whole thing. If you have any bike needs in the greater Toledo area, they have locations in Perrysburg, Sylvania, Elmore, and Fremont. Check them out.
very helpful.
Very helpful. It doesn't matter which location you go to.
No,
Um,
everybody that I've talked to, very friendly, very helpful.
They're just amazing people. CR Juices has been helping me so much over the last couple years with hydration, with food, with all that other stuff. They're just amazing. Check CR Juices out. Scott England, 4-Ball Pizza, him and Trina have been amazing through this whole thing. I'm so stoked to eat pizza after this event.
When's the last time you had it?
It's been a hot minute. No, Sunday after I did my trial run, I was so depleted that I ordered a medium fold over and ate the whole thing, and then like 7 cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, I just had my last cheat meal.
Yeah, I actually meal prepped and all this.
That's what CR Juice is about to be my meal prep for the next, 6 days.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
It's gonna be awesome when we get down there and we all have prep meals and we're good to go. I said it last week, Trey Chamberlain Roofing, give him a call if you have anything. He's been amazing through this
Killer
whole,
work. Dude does killer work.
he's done some amazing work, and he's literally will give you the shirt off of his back.
Yes. Great dude.
Just a great dude. Got anything else? I think that's everybody.
Fucking live, people.
Fucking live, people. This has been the Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness, where I can't doesn't exist. Lex isn't here, so boom.